Well, hello and welcome to Bowtie Life, where we talk mostly about life in the garden. And we are doing our monthly garden tours. This is part 2. We're going to be looking at the outer garden beds for the backyard. And this month's theme is a little bit about burnout. And if you haven't seen the first part of this garden tour, then go back and check it out. Kind of the introduction to this, but we've had a lot of travel this year so far, and we've missed a lot of time in the garden, traveling back and forth to Arkansas and family, and having family in, and me being sick, and everything else that's happened. There's just been a lot of things that hadn't happened around here, and it's the kind of thing that really teaches you gotta give yourself some grace sometimes, and understand that sometimes it's just not going to work the way you want it to work. We had a lot of great plans this summer, and they just didn't happen, and that's all there is to it. And it's okay, because we have next year. The cool thing about the garden, for the most part though, you miss a month in the garden, chances are everything's not going to die. It may shift what it's doing, but you got to find the best in all that. So anyway, we're trying something new. I just got done editing the first part, and we're trying something new. We're going to have this little map of the property here in the corner of the screen. In the corner? Is that the right corner, or is it this corner? Anyway, we're going to have this map here in the corner of the screen that shows you where on the property I am as we're shooting. And someone made a comment that we must have a huge property. Well, our property is 100 feet wide and 106 feet deep. That's under a quarter acre. I just like to try maximizing everything, and sometimes some things just don't get dealt with, and sometimes we deal with other things a little too much. I don't know. But I'm just out here having fun in the garden, experimenting with things, trying things out. If you looked at we'll get to that in a minute. But you're looking down the Blackberry trellis right here behind us, and been having a lot of growth there, and we're going to just start down here at that and take a look. I've lost about 7 weeks of productivity since the middle of May, I think it was, and so, and we're losing another one because we're traveling again. Now, this next travel is more planned. Everything else we've been doing hasn't exactly been planned. It's just been one of those things like, okay, what next? Here's our next day. Here we go again. And at the beginning of the year, we did not realize we were selling our cabin in Arkansas, and the need arose. A good friend of mine, his granddaughter needed the cabin, and so we ended up selling it. And that was a difficult decision for me, but it involved a lot of travel back and forth. And Mrs. Bowtie went with me one time, and I traveled to a bunch of other places to see family and take care of stuff. But anyway, life happens. It's Bowtie life. So anyway, how about we just get started and down the other end of this blackberry trellis. I'm going to try to remember to show you the goji berry bush, which I haven't showed in a few months now, I think. Can you believe we've been doing this, I think, for 17 months? Is that possible? My goodness, I can't believe it. Anyway, it's a discouraging garden right now. Things are overgrown. I have very little time to cut grass, much less pull weeds and maintain things. I've got stuff growing wild. I have stuff dying, which is very discouraging, to say the least. It's a garden gone wild. It's really gone wild. So if nothing else, normally I'm hoping that something I do can inspire someone to do something in their garden. But this month, It's going to be more like, if your garden's a mess, maybe you can be encouraged by knowing you're not the only one. Or some of this area back here looks worse than it's ever looked. I mean ever, since we bought the property. So almost embarrassed to show part of this in case the previous owner ever sees it, because he kept this property immaculate from end to end. And my style is not like his. He's retired Air Force. Everything was very structured. He liked the flat tops on the hedges. I don't. I like a little more organic hedge. It was I'm watching I'm sorry, I got to show you this. There is a green lizard on the edge of the top of the bee box. And he is just watching those bees. That is just so funny. Okay, ADD squirrel moment over. Sorry, total squirrel moment there. That lizard is still over there, and I had to go back and look at the video to remember what I was talking about, and it was a total squirrel moment. I have no idea. I was talking about how I like a more organic garden and rougher edged garden. I don't mind weeds growing here and there. I don't mind volunteers. I do like protecting some things like the blueberries. If you saw the very end of the last video tour, I cleared out a lot of vines from over the blueberry hedges. There's no blueberries growing right now, but we're protecting them for next year, so that they'll produce next year. And I'm looking over here. You'll see there's more mess behind the blueberries that I'm going to have to take care of. Not in the video, but it's just another job. So anyway, let's go ahead to the other end of the blackberry arch trellis right here, and get started with this outer garden bed tour for the Bowtie Gardens. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So the continuing theme on this, of course, is the weeds that are growing everywhere. In fact, it's interesting. These blackberries really don't care. They're just growing up down inside here, inside the weeds. I've been taking these new vines and weaving them up into the trellis here to get them a head start, because I will be pulling out all these weeds eventually, I hope. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of overgrowth in here. It's overwhelming to look at the moment. Reminds me, ooh, what was that? Reminds me of another video I did on my ADD being overwhelmed. Oh, there's some blackberry coming up underneath here that I'm going to have to redirect. I'm going to have to go look for all these things growing underneath the weeds. So yeah, there's a lot of blackberries growing, a lot of blackberry vines growing, and looking like they're getting ready to do something. What they're doing is they're growing their primocanes, the first year canes, and getting them ready, getting the roots ready and all, so that next year they will be ready to make blackberries, which is very exciting because we got a lot of these primocanes, these green canes right here. We have a lot of primocanes, so I'm hoping next year we have our best blackberry production ever. I'm still learning blackberries. In fact, I see a brand new I did not have any blackberry down in this corner. I see it going all underneath over there. Interesting. Underneath here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a lot of blackberry down all through here growing. And this is the kind of thing that I'm hoping for, because I'd like to have this whole arch trellis just covered with blackberries next year. Well, maybe not next year, but eventually. We're working on it. So blackberries are growing strong. I still have my, this is funny, I still have the Prince Seat Borghese cherry tomato hanging there, which we don't need that anymore. It's completely dead. I will dispose of that in the compost, of course. The pomegranate trees. I still have not taken care of these suckers down here that grow from the bottom. Now it's interesting how this one, it's in the sun more. It gets pretty good water. But this one over here doesn't have as many suckers as this one right here in the sun. So I don't know if it's a sun thing. But yeah, there's a lot more in here that needs to be cleaned out. But the pomegranates, there are pomegranates up there. We really haven't harvested anything this year. If I go up under here and look straight, look, got my hat on the hook. Look straight up. There's a nice size one right there. There are pomegranates. I was just looking at several. Oh yeah, there it is, the big one. Oh yeah, that's a big one right there. That's a big old pomegranate. That's gonna fall and hit on the roof and scare us both, probably. We sit right inside this window here watching our TV. But yeah, the pomegranates are looking beautiful. Keeping these going. The goji berry. So the goji berry, this one under here has not done any production. And I'm pretty sure it's because of the lack of sunshine it gets. And I'm pretty sure. But these things seem to go into a dormancy. And you'll see the other one at the end of the raised garden bed tour. And it's gone into dormancy too. And it just seems like it's preserving itself during this hot, because it did this last year. I thought it was dying, and last year it did this, but then it came back with a vengeance during the fall. And so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, the pomegranates are doing good. Anyway, so coming around here, the fountain planter. Yeah. That's a disappointment. I was doing pretty good keeping the grass out of this and keeping the other stuff. I always even got leaf flower growing in it. Keeping leaf flower out of this, but there are still some nasturtium down in here. There's a nasturtium leaf right there. But anyway, yeah, this has been a bit of a failure. I need to do better with this. I may end up having to go in. I should have put perlite in this soil so that it would drain better, because this soil stays very wet. It gets watered a lot more than the nasturtium need, and perlite would have helped with that draining quite a bit. So anyway, the back of the blueberries. So this is supposed to be open through here. In fact, this was open through here just a couple months ago. I think I may have done it on video, but whatever this is right here, this is just taken over. And I can pull that and it comes up roots and all. Let me see if I can pull it out here. I don't know what's living in there. I'm sure there's a snake in there. Ooh, there is a worm living in there. Don't want to disturb him. Shake him out. I'm pretty sure that this is a peppermint plant right here, which I'm very excited about, because that's the mint that I'm trying to grow. So I may have to take some action on this bag right here. Get that Thai plant up in the front yard where it belongs, but start breaking out this peppermint, because I want to do all peppermint in the backyard except for a couple of spearmint and a couple of mountain mints. But look, this up here is just a mess. And it's growing right up underneath, you see it down there? Right up underneath the blueberries, which it doesn't seem to have deep roots at all. It's easy to pull, but good grief, there's a ton of it up in here. So yeah, this is all grown over, and there's actually an irrigation head back there, and I'm sure that irrigation head is being hampered by all the overgrowth through here. Just tons of this stuff. In fact, walking back here toward the bee box just a few minutes ago, I noticed that it's all on my little path right here. I need to come in here and do a better job with the whatever it is that I need to do to keep stuff from growing. Oh my goodness, this one is not being as friendly. Put my hand down here. I've never seen or heard of a poisonous snake in here, so I'm still hesitant, just out of precaution. Oh yeah, and And look at this magnolia tree. Oh, these have got to come down. Now, folks, you know, we all get this romantic notion about the vines growing on the big houses in Europe and all that other stuff. And we try to let these vines grow on our houses here, and we think, oh, it's so cool. Folks, those houses in Europe have 6 foot thick walls, not stick frame walls like we have. And these vines can tear down a tree like this, much less a little house, a little stick frame house. So do not let these grow on even a brick-based house. Do not let these grow on your house, because these vines will just take them down. It will eat up a house. And you know what you just saw here with this vine, God created it that way, because this tree out in nature probably would not have gotten this big. It would not be that well taken care of. It's been taken care of by the previous owner. But God has made this to where those vines would creep up, and over the course of many years, it would take down this tree to make room for new growth. And so it can take down a house. In fact, it can take down a castle with 10-foot thick walls. So don't think that your house, your stick frame house, if you're living in the United States, is safe from these vines and ivies growing up. In fact, we had a house just down the road from us that the previous owner had really let it go horribly, and there were vines, thick vines growing from the top edge of the house, and it almost pulled the edges of the roof off. The current owner told me they had done a lot of repair work to get that house back to snuff. But now you see that vine growing up the edge of the trellis? That's a air potato vine, and I'm gonna have to go over and get that in the morning. That's a big air potato. Air potatoes gotta go. Go look at my video about the scourge of Florida. The air potato is not something you want to cultivate. So the Cathedraloupe here. We do have a couple of cantaloupe plants growing here. There's actually some more down in the grass down. In fact, there's one right here that I keep trying to pull up. No. Oh, no. Look, it did come up. Look, here it is. I kept trying to pull this one up, and it's finally, oh, it's dying. Its leaves are dying. But I just hadn't been here to take care of this. And so, yeah, if we get a cantaloupe out of it, great. I highly doubt it. But the bees still have their bee bath in here. I've mentioned the turtle baths, and there is a turtle bath down in here. It is currently dry. Not sure why that is. Oh, that's right, the front water today. These things will typically keep water in them for the day, and something like this turtle can come along. It'll fill with water during irrigation, but that irrigation head over there is not, it's being hampered by all those weeds, and so this did not get filled up. Ha! There's a problem. Oh. This is not filling. I just noticed, where is the tube? Looky here. The bees have not been getting water. Okay. This thing has to be above the water level, otherwise it'll siphon all the water back down in. I wonder how that happened. That's not good. Okay, I don't know how long it's been like that. Okay, well, that'll fill this area here. That also fills the turtle bath, which is right under the edge. That's why the turtles aren't getting water. Okay, the bee box over here. Just a quick note, bee box is doing wonderful. So excited, good neighbors. In fact, Jeff Chesser over at Local Destin Honey just released a video about the other half of my hive, and he posted how they're doing and what it looks like and everything. He says it's been a phenomenal hive. This hive was getting pretty aggressive until we split it. We actually took the hive, divided into two. He said he's pretty sure that I got the old queen, he got the new queen. In all reality, the old queen can get replaced, so we may have another new queen. We don't know. It's been a while. He doesn't check these very often because you know what? The bees know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. We just let them go and do their job. So the bees are doing great. The Cathedraloupe, there's stuff growing here. I see the air potato growing over there. There's another ivy growing down over here. Good grief. Cathedraloupe is looking rough. I'm walking backwards, watching on the grass. Make sure I don't step on anything because I know there's things in here. But one of my big mistakes is the bird bath right in the middle. It is big time in the way for clearing the grass through here. I'd much rather be able to just run the mower in here in the middle if I need to. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be moving that bird bath outside the Cathedraloupe over there so that this all will be clear and I could just run the mower through here. That was a mistake. So the zinnias next to the Cathedraloupe, these things are just going crazy, doing their thing. There's even more growing up in there, but we'll have to end up mowing all this and as the season comes to an end and start again. The fig trees. Yeah, the fig trees are going strong, good strong new growth, just like the one up front. Look at how beautiful this looks. Just beautiful. Beautiful green growth. I don't see any figs growing on these, which no surprise. There shouldn't be. It is too late in the season. It's been too hot. This fig tree, that fig tree, I still haven't had the courage to trim off that bottom branch down there. I really need to because I want this thing to grow up above the Cathedraloupe over here. So, the elephant ear. Yeah, the elephant ear is still growing strong. I never did get this bench out of here, and if I don't do it soon, I'll never get it out, at least not until we can harvest all these elephant ear, the taro root out of here. I better do that soon. Problem is, where I want to put it is a bed of zinnias, so that I just showed you. Life of a garden. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the fence line over here. We have a lot of this air potato growing. Me and my neighbor, we pulled out a whole bunch of this. This is air potato, has a heart-shaped leaf. This is a scourge. Once it starts growing, it grabs hold. You cannot spray it with any poison because all you'll do is kill the leaves. Underneath the ground, there is a tuber that can be the size of a baseball that continues the growth of this thing. So these things grow and grow and grow until what happens here on the nodes. In fact, let me see if I can find one. Right up, I think it's right here. It's either here or here. I think it's right here. It grows another potato. And that potato, oh, yeah. In fact, here is one right here. Just started. Look at there. See, it's right on the stem. It grows another air potato. Now that little tiny thing right there is big enough to create a whole new nightmare for acres and acres of property. Oh, there's another one. Okay. I'm going to be taking those to the trash. I better look see if there's any more of these. Those are small. I've seen those grow to the size of a baseball. So I know that my neighbor through there had a really bad problem last year. All they did was spray, and I happen to know for a fact that that will do nothing for it. So I'm keeping my yard clear, even though it was the previous owner of this property that planted it in the area in the first place. I've told that story before. Still have the grow bags underneath the tarp. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Keeping them under there, keeping those grow bags ready to go for the next season. And all I have to do is hydrate them and supplement them, and they won't have any weeds or living seeds or anything. I'm really digging this. It's not the best for the health of the soil, but it's what I can deal with right now. So it's the easiest right now. Okay, so as we're coming along, I'm going to come over here to this side. As we're coming along, the good news. 2 lemon trees, folks. Can you believe it? This thing has started to grow. This is a lemon tree in a pot. And I had zero hope of this ever doing anything. I would have bet money that it was gone after the freeze. And look at this. It has got growth. That is nothing short of exciting. I thought for sure that these things were dead, but our lemon trees appear to be coming back. That's just exciting. This one here was the first one to start coming back. On a high note, we go directly to a low note. And I had 3 zucchini plants here, one right here, one up over here, and one over here. And this is one of the worst. And Millennial Gardener put out a video a while back about how he was growing watermelon on top of this fabric. And I thought, oh, I wonder if that'll work for zucchini. No, not well. No, don't do that. So what's happened here is the stems should be able to root some more places. And because they're on top of fabric, they don't have anywhere to root. So these stems are not taking root anywhere to prolong the life of the plant. So this was a very bad idea for myself. Again, this is my own journal of things happening in the garden. This is a note to my future self about 8 months from now when I think about doing this again. Don't do this. I come back and watch these videos from time to time. Now, back to the brighter note, look at this watermelon. Oh my goodness. I bagged this bugger, and you look down here and there is a tendril. You see that tendril right there? It's still green. When this thing is ready to be harvested, that little tendril right there will start dying, and it'll die all the way down. And this thing will be ready to harvest when that tendril dies all the way down. There's another watermelon. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, I gotta come around here. Oh, is that a new one? I only put that one in the organza. There's another one right there. There's another one right underneath here. I think there's another one somewhere. Maybe that was the 3. Now, there is another one growing up here, but that is on my neighbor's side of the fence, so I think that's irrefutably his watermelon. I don't mind sharing with neighbors. It's good to share. But this thing is growing everywhere. And there's pollinators everywhere. There's flowers all through there. It is just craziness up in here. I thought I had another watermelon in here somewhere. I am not seeing it. Kind of hard to see. I had one over there. One here. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. I found it. You probably already saw it. See, look here. There's one right here, little one. And right here, just right next to it, is another one. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. But again, there's the tendril. Comes to this node where that watermelon is growing from. And when this tendril dies back, this thing will be ready to harvest. I don't know if my neighbor has any more. I don't see any yet. But he's got a significant amount of the vine growing over there. Watermelon, good news. Brown turkey fig appears to be sitting pretty. This thing is not going to have much development this year. Probably not much next year. We'll see. This is the ligustrum that I cut out. I'm going to have to come in and cut it out better. I knew that. The unused arch trellis because there just has not been time. Oh, craziness. There is a peppermint plant back in here that is buried. I don't know, that may be chocolate mint. I'm not sure. That may be chocolate mint. Oh yes, this is chocolate mint. I think this is the peppermint. Back here in the watermelon getting overrun. Yes, here it is. No, is this the peppermint? I cannot tell. If you know the difference between peppermint and chocolate mint, and how to tell the difference, let me know, because I'm still not clear on that. The old tree trunk trying to grow back again, and I have to pull out the ladder and clean that up, but you know what? I've been a little busy. The kinetic art is being quite disappointing with the lack of wind that it's showing. Oh, it is hot out. We're in the 90s, low 90s, but humidity is super high. The old wood pile, I do have room to stack more wood now. The old Satsuma orange tree. Oh, this is disappointing. All dead. Yeah, very disappointing. So I'm pretty sure that this is a peppermint underneath here. Unfortunately, yeah, this is a peppermint. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely a peppermint. I need to break this up into multiple things. It is getting overtaken by grasses and other stuff. Ivy. This ivy, I think, has thorns, so I'm being very careful. But, yeah, it's just another problem. It has to be taken care of. Ain't it great? Another problem. So the onion patch, yes, this is an onion patch, and we cleared out a corner of this. That's what this bare patch is, and there used to be prolific onions growing over there, but looky here. I'm going to show you. There is one onion growing right here. See that? That will sprout out. There's actually several in here. But every one of the plants that were in here started like this with 1 or 2 onions. I'm looking here for more. Looky here. Here's some onions just sitting down here on their own. I wonder if I plant these, if they'll do anything. Or if they were pulled up by something. I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding any living onions. Except for those. I'm going to have to do some more clearing in here. I know what I did was quick work. I filled a wheelbarrow. I was done. Okay, see, now this is the head of an onion that's fallen off. I will plant that. I've never done this before like this. Let's see if it'll work. Okay. There is still onion. Actually, if I go over this way, there's a big onion right in here. You can see all the darker leaves of the onion. There's one here. There's another one back under here that I'm sure is struggling. Maybe not. Maybe that's what the turtle's been eating. I don't know. Do turtles eat onions? Yeah, the onion patch is yet another disappointment. Overwhelming. Everything needs to get done in the garden. Pomegranate, this one's gonna maybe mostly die. Another pomegranate, this one's looking good. Those two over there looking healthy. Lots of disappointment in the garden, huh? Sometimes it happens. You just go on. It's the garden, life and death. You know, wildfires, they're for renewal. Wildfires are actually good things. Look at all this long grass. I gotta come through here and cut it all. Not that it's gonna dry out and we're gonna have a wildfire, because that's never gonna happen. I can't say never, but we're in Florida. It's too moist and humid here. Anyway, yeah. So our loquat trees are looking good. We got 2 here, 2 up there, and then 2 up in the very front. All look good. The grass is here. The rosemary. Pots of nothingness. We do have a lemon tree coming up here, which is my exciting rescue from last month. That was just so thrilling to see that I have actually gotten another lemon tree. These are all loquats back here, and I see they're growing up by other stuff, but I need to up pot them because they are getting out of hand for that pot. I'm pretty sure that this down here is my spearmint. This actually, yeah, this came with the property. This spearmint down in this pot here. It's actually all in here. It's just kind of growing all over the place because that's what mint does. It grows everywhere. Needs a serious cutting back. You can cut back mint anytime. It does not matter at all. So babying my aloe. These are my favorite aloe because they bloom differently than all the others. Oh, I do have the Comfrey. Even the Comfrey back there looks to be... Hope that wasn't too jarring. My phone overheated. It is 92 degrees out here, and I'm out here in the sun with my camera, and it just overheated. So we're talking about the Comfrey over here. Let's get back to it, see if we can get it finished up before it overheats again. So yeah, the Comfrey is growing strong still. It's a little wilty in this hot weather, but it is doing well. I need to break it up so I can grow it in more than one place on the property. When I first got the property, I made a mistake. I thought it was something bad. It was not. This stuff has super deep roots. It actually will pull nutrients deep out of the ground and bring them up into the leaves. These leaves are phenomenal for compost. In fact, it's very hard to beat these leaves for compost. So anyway, we're coming around to the final thing here, of course. Speaking of compost, there is no difference. Our compost is still in the same place. I filled this thing, I think last time we did the video, I had already filled this thing up to the top of the spikes and it had gone down. Since then I filled it up one more time and it's gone down again. There are kitchen scraps down in here. Let's see if I can dig down just a little bit. There's some okra, tomatoes, a few other things down there. Oh, there's okra. What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, there's a big zucchini. If you saw the short about the monster zucchini that I harvested, it's in there too. So anyway, let's wrap this thing up. So there we go. The outer garden bed tours for August of 2023. Hot August, busy August, and we'll get started on the raised garden bed tours here shortly. There's been a lot going on. A lot of stuff has not made it. A lot of stuff has. So the raised garden bed tour, you can see right here, we've got the okra going crazy. We'll cover that here on the raised bed tour. It is same story. There's disappointment there too. So anyway, sorry about the phone overheating. I got to keep a better eye on that. I try to remember to go inside and take a break every once in a while, for my sake and for the phone's sake. But yeah, we've got a lot of work cut out for us this winter to do. It's a little bit overwhelming, and for my ADD brain, even more so. One job at a time though, right? Thanks, Lynn. So if you're just stumbling along, finding our channel, please subscribe. We talk mostly about life in the garden, but sometimes about life in general. And thank you for watching, everybody for watching. Watching helps. Those of you who are already subscribed, I thank you so much. You're the driving force behind the growth of this channel. And it's hard to explain how much subscribers helps grow the channel. If you thought this was informational, educational, inspirational, or just entertaining, watching me sweat in the garden, click the thumbs up, that's what it is, and share on your social media. And I think I need to go in and cool down a little more, let the phone cool down a little more before it stops here. So thank you for joining me on Bowtie Life. Have a blessed day.